We're in the Philippine Sea on USS America conducting expeditionary strike force operations with the Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group.
Over the last 3 days, TR and rescue ships have been underway in the Western Pacific, conducting operations with USS America and their expeditionary strike group.
Together, we combine the fifth-generation technology, Marine Corps' F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, and the awesome offensive capability of a U.S. carrier air wing.
The Carrier Strike Group's combat power is impressive, but when combined with an expeditionary strike group like the America ESG, it is unparalleled. The teamwork, resilience, technical excellence, and extraordinary professionalism of these two teams working together is the foundation of everything we do in the United States Navy.
By merging our two teams into one,
the Taiwanese government said on Monday that China deployed fighter jets that briefly crossed the midline of the Taiwan Strait into the country, the South China Morning Post reported. The move came while United States Secretary of Health and Human Alex Azar was visiting Taiwan and offered American support to the region. The Taiwanese Air Force said its missiles tracked the fighter jets and drove them out. China, which had promised unspecified retaliation to the trip, condemned Azar's visit, Reuters reported. It flew J-11 and J-10 fighter aircraft briefly under Taiwan's side of the strait that separates it from China, around 9 a.m. local time, 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. China claims sovereignty over Taiwan. The Air Force Command expresses that the deliberate intrusion and move that damages the Taiwan Strait situation has seriously hurt regional safety and stability, Taiwan's Ministry of Defense said. It should be stressed that Taiwan's military has fully grasped all developments near the Taiwan Strait and airspace, and can respond appropriately to any changes in the enemy situation to ensure national security. Azar met Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen. This was the highest-level visit by a U.S. cabinet official to Taiwan since 1979, when Washington began to recognize the People's Republic of China, instead of the Republic of China Taiwan, as representing the country. The United States said Azar's trip was intended to convey a message of strong support to Taiwan, and compliment its leadership for its handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Taiwan's response to COVID-19 has been among the most successful in the world, and that is a tribute to the open, transparent, democratic nature of Taiwan's society and culture, Azar told Tsai. The country has reported just 480 coronavirus cases and 7 deaths so far, with most infections being imported. On the other hand, United States President Donald Trump has repeatedly clashed with China over the pandemic, accusing Beijing of responsibility for it. He has called COVID-19 the China virus, and claimed that Beijing's secrecy, deceptions, led to the contagion spreading all over the world. The Trump administration's response to the crisis stands in stark contrast to Taiwan's approach, as the White House has resisted developing a national strategy to fight the pandemic, which has led to chronic shortages in testing, contact tracing and personal protective equipment for healthcare workers and other frontline personnel. There have been discussions previously about dispatching Azar as part of a U.S. delegation to Taiwan, but they never materialized, according to a former senior administration official who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak on the matter. Some administration officials, however, had previously argued against sending the health secretary to Taiwan because it would politicize global health efforts, an area that requires tremendous cooperation on issues including influenza, childhood vaccinations and efforts to bring the coronavirus pandemic under control. Officials argued priority should be given to maintaining an open line of communication with China on matters of health. The idea is that health supersedes any individual country's interest and there are interdependencies. We're all in this together, so we'd like to have constructive relationships even with countries that are normally seen as our adversaries, the former official said. An HHS spokesman defended Azar's trip, saying countries throughout the world could learn from Taiwan's experience. President Trump is committed to strengthening our nation's global health alliances, especially during this pandemic. During his travel, Secretary Azar stayed close to the COVID response and we watched key metrics drop. Testing results, turnaround times, positive cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. As the President's All of America strategy got traction, HHS spokesman Michael Caputo